Many people think that when their car has a problem, they have to take it to a garage and spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars to fix it. But the truth is, many small issues on your car can be easily fixed yourself, sometimes for free. From a warning light popping up, a weak engine start, and an air conditioner that won't heat to uneven tire pressure. Just knowing the right spot can let you solve these problems in minutes. This video will show you the simplest car repair tips that anyone can do, helping you save money, understand your car better, and avoid getting overdiagnosed at the garage. This video was made to help you, so don't hesitate to give it a like. 1. Fixing a slow engine start. Have you ever turned the key and the engine cranks slowly, making a sluggish sound for a few seconds before starting, or the RPMs fluctuate unevenly after it fires up? Many people immediately think of a weak battery, old spark plugs, or even a faulty sensor. But in reality, most cases of slow starts or uneven idling come from something very simple: a dirty throttle body. The throttle body is a component located between the air filter and the intake manifold, responsible for regulating the amount of air entering the combustion chamber. When you press the gas pedal, the throttle valve opens, allowing air to flow in and mix with fuel. Over time, carbon deposits, excess oil, dust, and oil vapor from the PCV, positive crankcase ventilation, system build up around the throttle valve, preventing it from opening and closing smoothly. When the gap is too narrow or stuck, not enough air reaches the engine, forcing the ECU to adjust to keep the engine running, which causes high RPM fluctuations, hard starts, and more engine vibration than usual. This issue is common in older cars or those frequently driven in city traffic, where the engine repeatedly starts and stops. You might notice it when the car responds slowly to the gas pedal, accelerates weakly, or struggles to start in the morning. Some cars even trigger the check engine light because the mass airflow (MF) sensor reads incorrect data due to the dirty throttle valve. The good news? You don't need to take your car to the dealer or spend hundreds on a deep throttle body cleaning service. With a can of throttle cleaner costing less than $10 and a soft cloth, you can do it yourself in about 10 minutes. The process is simple. Open the air filter housing and you'll see the aluminum throttle body with a round valve inside. Gently move the valve by hand. For electronic throttles, only do this with the key in the on position. Never force it. Spray the cleaner on the inner and outer edges of the throttle valve. Use a clean cloth to wipe away the black carbon buildup around the throttle body's walls. When the aluminum surface looks shiny again, you've removed the grime-blocking airflow. After finishing, start the car and let it idle for a few minutes to allow the ECU to recalibrate the airflow. You'll notice an immediate difference. The engine runs smoother, starts easier, responds quicker to the throttle, and accelerates more smoothly. For many cars, after just one cleaning, issues like jerking at idle or long cranking before starting disappear completely. The key is not to let the throttle body get too dirty before cleaning it. Treat this as routine maintenance, doing it every 10,000, 15,000 miles, or every 6 months if you drive in the city often. Regular cleaning prevents heavy buildup, extends the life of the airflow sensor, and keeps the engine running smoothly. A quick tip: if your car has a slight gasoline smell, or the RPMs drop sharply when you turn on the air conditioner before recovering, it's almost certainly a dirty throttle body. Clean it properly, and those symptoms will disappear. 2. Checking the brake warning light. Many people panic when they see the brake warning light illuminate on the dashboard. It feels like the brakes are about to fail, so they rush to the garage, bracing for a repair bill of hundreds of dollars. But in reality, in 7 or 8 out of 10 cases, the issue is simply low brake fluid, a problem so small you can check and fix it in minutes for less than $10. Before panicking, understand that the brake warning light has 3 main causes. First, low brake fluid in the reservoir. Second, worn brake pads reaching their limit. And third, an actual sensor error or fluid leak. The first cause, low brake fluid, is the most common, especially in older cars. The reason is simple. As brake pads wear down, the pistons in the brake calipers extend further to press the pads against the rotor. This creates a gap that causes the fluid level in the master cylinder to gradually drop, a completely normal process, not a leak or a breakdown. You can check this yourself by opening the hood and locating the brake fluid reservoir, usually a small, transparent plastic container near the driver's side firewall. Check the fluid level. If it's below the Maillazien mark, simply top it off with the correct brake fluid, DOT3, DOT4, or DOT 5.1, depending on your car. Never use random oil or engine oil as a substitute, as brake fluid is a specialized hydraulic fluid designed to handle high heat and corrosion. Add fluid until it reaches the max mark. Secure the cap, start the car, and gently press the brake pedal a few times to circulate the fluid. If the light goes off and the brake pedal feels firm without sinking, everything is fine. If you add fluid but the brake light stays on, or the fluid level drops again after a few days, then it's time for a closer inspection. Your car might have a leak at the rear brakes or master cylinder. Look for signs like fluid stains inside the wheel rims or under the brake pedal. In this case, take the car to a mechanic for a thorough check, as brakes are not something to take lightly. 3. Learn how to reset at home. One of the biggest tricks that costs people unnecessary money is the service soon or maintenance required light glowing on the dashboard. When this light comes on, many panic and rush their car to the dealership, thinking it's about to break down. The engine has a problem or a ton of parts need replacing. But in reality, in most cases, that light isn't warning about a breakdown at all. It's just a timed reminder, programmed to nudge you to change your oil on schedule. Most modern cars are set to trigger the service soon light every 5,000 to 15,000 miles, depending on the brand. When the cycle ends, the light comes on. Even if your car is running smoothly, the oil is still clean, and the brakes are fine. This is the loophole that many garages or dealerships exploit to push unnecessary maintenance services. The truth is, you can reset this light at home with just a few simple steps. U.S. law clearly states, every car sold must allow the owner to disable the maintenance light without specialized equipment. This ensures people can maintain their cars themselves if they choose. No one is tied to the dealership. The process varies slightly by car model, but the general principle is similar. Turn the ignition to the on position without starting the engine. Press and hold the trip or odometer reset button on the dashboard, then turn the key off, turn it back on, and hold the button for a few more seconds until the light flashes and turns off. Some cars require pressing the gas pedal 3 times in a row with the key on or navigating to a reset maintenance option in the settings menu. You can find the exact steps for your car model online or in the owner's manual. Free instructions are everywhere. The key is not to confuse the maintenance light with the check engine light. The service soon light is a scheduled reminder, while the check engine light relates to sensors, fuel-air mixture, or ignition issues, and requires a deeper check. If your car runs normally, has no strange noises or burning smells, and only the service light is on, you can safely reset it without worrying about engine damage, like if you just learned something new. 4. Car won't start. There's nothing more frustrating than rushing to work in the morning, getting in your car, turning the key, and hearing only a weak click-click sound. The car won't start. It's a mix of panic and irritation, and your first thought is, "Oh no, the engine's dead. I need to tow it to the garage." But in reality, most cases of a car not starting aren't serious at all. The cause is often so simple, you can fix it at home for free. First, stay calm and check the battery. About 80% of no-start issues come from here. Telltale signs include dim dashboard lights, a weak horn, or a click-click sound when you try to start, followed by silence. The cause could be a weak battery, loose terminal connections, or corrosion. Open the hood and look at the battery terminals. If you see white or green powdery buildup, It means the terminals are corroded, preventing enough current from reaching the starter. Don't assume the battery is dead. A can of terminal cleaner, less than 2, or even warm water mixed with salt and a metal brush can clean it right up. Wipe the terminals dry, tighten the connections, and your car will likely start on the first try. If the battery terminals are clean, but the car still won't start, check if you left something on overnight, like the headlights or an interior light, or if a phone charger was plugged in. Forgetting to turn off a light or accessory can drain the battery by morning, a common issue. Many people call a tow truck and pay hundreds for something that could have been fixed in 5 minutes. A super useful tip is to keep a mini jump starter on hand. These compact lithium-ion devices can be charged via USB and come with a safe start button. No need to ask for help with jumper cables or worry about sparks. Just clamp it to the battery terminals, flip the switch, and the car starts like normal. Many models even have a display showing voltage, letting you check if the alternator is charging the battery. If the car is running and the voltage reads around 14V, the charging system is fine, and you may just need a new battery. But if the voltage doesn't rise after starting, it means the alternator is weak and not charging the battery. In this case, you can still drive a few dozen miles to a repair shop, as the car will run on the remaining battery power. But don't turn off the engine along the way, or it might not start again. 5. Fixing weak heating. On a cold morning, you get in your car, crank the heater to max. The fan blows loudly, but the cabin stays freezing. It's a miserable feeling, especially when it's below 40 degrees and the windshield starts fogging up. Many people immediately think the heater's broken, the system's out of gas, or the air conditioning has failed. But in reality, most cases of weak or no heat come from a simple issue. The cooling system is low on coolant, or has air bubbles trapped inside. It sounds counterintuitive since coolant seems like it's only for cooling, but in fact, that hot coolant is what provides heat for your car's heating system. When the engine reaches operating temperature, around 190 degrees, a portion of the hot coolant flows through the heater core, a small radiator behind the dashboard. The fan blows air through it, sending warm air into the cabin. So, if the system is low on coolant or has air trapped inside, the heater core doesn't get enough hot coolant to transfer heat. The result? The fan runs, but it only blows cold air. Checking this is simple. Wait until the engine is completely cool, then open the radiator cap and look inside. If the coolant level is below the neck of the radiator or the overflow tank is empty, that's likely the problem. Just top it off with pre-mixed coolant, 50 to 50, to the correct level. But to ensure the system works efficiently, you need to make sure there are no air bubbles. Air often gets trapped in the heater core, since it's the highest point in the system, preventing coolant from circulating properly. Here's a simple trick many don't know. Raise the front of the car higher than the rear, or back it onto a slope so the radiator is the highest point. This helps air escape through the radiator cap. Open the cap, start the engine, turn the heater to its highest setting, and let the car idle for 5 to 10 minutes. You'll see small air bubbles rising to the surface, and gradually, the coolant will start flowing smoothly. When warm air blows consistently, the system is burped and working properly. If you still get no heat after this, the heater core might be slightly clogged with debris from the coolant. A sign is a clear temperature difference between the inlet and outlet hoses of the heater core. One side feels hot, the other cold. In this case, try draining the old coolant, flushing the system, and refilling with fresh coolant. Sometimes that's all it takes to restore the flow of hot coolant. 6. Incorrect tire pressure. Many people don't realize that improper tire pressure can make a car noisy, shaky, or less fuel efficient, or even wear out tires after just a few thousand miles. When they hear unusual noises, they assume it's the shocks, tie rods, or wheel bearings, and rush to the garage. But after spending hundreds of dollars, the car still doesn't feel smoother. In reality, the problem is often much simpler. The tires are at the wrong pressure. Underinflated or overinflated tires Both affect how the car drives. When tires are underinflated, the sidewalls are softer, increasing the contact patch with the road, making the car feel sluggish, burn more fuel, and pull to one side. You might notice the steering wheel vibrating slightly, or the car feels heavy when cornering. Underinflated tires also heat up faster, and on long drives or highways, they're at risk of blowing out as heat builds up. Overinflated tires, on the other hand, make the ride harsh, bounce more over potholes, and reduce traction when braking hard or driving on wet roads. Many accidents in the rain happen simply because drivers overinflate for safety. Another consequence of incorrect tire pressure is uneven wear. Overinflated tires wear out in the center, while underinflated tires wear on the outer edges. After just a few months, the tires degrade faster than normal, forcing you to replace them early when they could have lasted tens of thousands more miles. Checking tire pressure is easy. Every car has a sticker on the driver's side door frame or in the owner's manual listing the recommended pressure, usually around 30 to 35 psi for passenger cars, or higher for SUVs and light trucks. A tire pressure gauge, costing just a few bucks, lets you check it weekly. The key is to measure when the tires are cold, ideally in the morning. Many people check at a gas station after driving, when the air inside the tires has expanded, giving a falsely high reading and leading to underinflation. A quick tip: after inflating to the correct pressure, take a test drive on a flat road. If the car feels smooth, the steering doesn't pull, and there's no vibration when accelerating, the pressure is right. If it still feels heavy or wobbly, one tire might still be slightly off compared to the others. 7. Check for recalls to get free repairs. Many people take their car to the shop and spend hundreds of dollars on a fix that the manufacturer should have covered for free. It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. If your car is part of a recall, the manufacturer is obligated to fix it at no cost, no matter how old the car is or how many owners it's had. As long as the recall issue hasn't been addressed, you're entitled to a free repair, with no time limit. Few people know this, so when a warning light comes on, they rush to the garage, hear quotes for replacing this part or that sensor, and end up paying hundreds. But by checking your car's VIN, vehicle identification number, on the manufacturer's website or the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, site, you can instantly find out if your car is under a recall. A few minutes of research can save you a ton of money. For example, many Toyota, Honda, or Ford models have been recalled for issues like faulty airbags, airbag sensors, or weak fuel pumps. These aren't normal wear and tear problems, they're manufacturing defects. When identified, the manufacturer must replace the affected parts for free on all impacted vehicles. Even if you bought a used car, those recall rights stay with the vehicle, not the original owner. Many car issues seem complicated but are actually simple. From topping off brake fluid and resetting warning lights to cleaning the throttle body and checking for free recalls, these fixes are easy and highly effective. Understanding your car not only saves you hundreds of dollars a year, but, more importantly, makes you proactive, confident, and safer on the road every day. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.